Hello friends, welcome to Bindu Dadwal Chemistry Lessons. The topic for today is vapor pressure, Raoult's law, ideal and non-ideal solutions, and deviation from Raoult's law. When a liquid is allowed to evaporate in a closed vessel, a part of the liquid evaporates and fills the available space with the vapors. Since the vapors do not leave the container, these get collected in the space above the liquid, and due to vaporization, this process continues till a time comes when the molecules in the vapor phase begin striking the walls of the vessel. These condense and may get back to the liquid stage. Initially, the vaporization rate is greater than the condensation rate, but a stage comes when evaporation and condensation rates become equal to each other. At this stage, the pressure exerted by the vapors above the liquid surface become constant and an equilibrium is established. So, the pressure exerted by the vapors above the liquid surface in equilibrium with the liquid at a given temperature is called vapor pressure. Factors on which vapor pressure of a liquid depend. Number one, nature of the liquid. Volatile liquids which have weaker intermolecular force of attraction will have higher vapor pressure. It increases with the increase in temperature as more molecules will have higher kinetic energy. Vapor pressure of liquid-liquid solutions and Raoult's law. Now supposing there is a mixture of two liquids A and B, both will come into the vapor phase and the pressure exerted by them will be respectively PA and PB. According to Dalton's law of partial pressures, the total pressure exerted by the mixed vapors of both the components will be equal to sum of the partial pressures of the two components. P will be equal to PA plus. Francois Marie Raoult in 1886 gave a quantitative relationship between partial pressures and mole fractions of the two components. This relationship is known as Raoult's law. Raoult's law states that at a given temperature for a solution of volatile liquids, the partial vapor pressure of each component in solution is equal to the products of vapor pressure of pure component and its mole fraction. Mathematically, we can say that partial pressure of A, partial vapor pressure of pure A into mole fraction of A in the mixture in the solution. Similarly, partial pressure due to B will be product of partial pressure of pure component B into mole fraction XB of component B. Know that the sum of mole fractions of binary solution is equal to 1. XA plus XB is equal to 1. XA will be, if we take XB to other side, 1 minus XB. So putting these values, XA is equal to 1 minus XB in place of XA, we get P is equal to P naught A into, instead of XA we put 1 minus XB plus P naught B into XB. Opening this up, P is equal to P naught A minus P naught A XB plus P naught B XB. Now taking XB common, we get P is equal to P naught A plus, we take this term ahead because it has positive sign, so XB is taken out, P naught B minus P naught A into xp. So this relationship, the conclusions are that total vapor pressure over the solution can be related to mole fraction of any one of the component. In this whole equation there is only one mole fraction, and total vapor pressure varies linearly with the mole fraction of component B because P naught A and P naught B are constants. As the vapor pressure of pure components are constant, the mole fraction decides the total pressure. So you can see that total vapor pressure will steadily increase or decrease with the mole fraction of any one of the components. As we go to this side, the mole fraction of B steadily increases to finally it reaches 1, whereas mole fraction of A decreases. So this graph shows that how partial pressure of A decreases with the decrease in mole fraction of A, and partial pressure of B increases with increase in mole fraction of B, and total vapor pressure increases with mole fraction of the more volatile component B. This is a container having only pure solvent. So you can see the upper layer consists of only the volatile molecules, and any of the molecule has a tendency to escape into the vapor form. But if in this pure solvent you put a non-volatile solute, then part of the surface will be covered by non-volatile solute molecules which are not capable of coming into the vapor phase. So tendency of the solvent molecules to come into vapor phase decreases because of presence of non-volatile solute on the surface of the liquid. So vapor pressure of the solution is found to be less than that of pure solvent. And as and when you increase the concentration of solute, the vapor pressure of solution will be further lowered. So Raoult's law for liquid solutions containing non-volatile solute can be derived. According to Raoult's law, Pa is equal to XA into P naught A. XA is the mole fraction of A. When solute is non-volatile, only the solvent molecules are present in the vapor phase. So whatever is the vapor pressure of the solution is only because of the vapor pressure of solvent in the solution. So vapor pressure of solution is P is equal to Pa is equal to P naught A XA. This relationship is known as Raoult's law. Thus, for a solution containing non-volatile solute, the Raoult's law may be stated as: at a given temperature, the vapor pressure of a solution containing non-volatile solute is directly proportional to the mole fraction of solvent. So we say that total vapor pressure P is proportional to XA, and to remove the sign of proportionality, we put a constant P naught A, the vapor pressure of pure solvent, which is constant. So we get the equation P is equal to P naught A XA. If we bring P naught A to this side, we get P upon P naught A is equal to XA. Subtracting each side of the equation from 1, we have 1 minus P upon P naught A is equal to 1 minus XA. But 1 minus XA is equal to XP, and multiplying this we get P naught A minus P upon P naught A is equal to XP. P naught A is the vapor pressure of pure solvent, P is the vapor pressure of solution. So putting these values, what we get is P naught vapor pressure of pure solvent minus vapor pressure of solution is lowering in vapor pressure of solution by addition of non-volatile solute, and when this lowering is divided with respect to original vapor pressure, this gets relative lowering of vapor pressure, and we find that this relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to mole fraction of solute. So Raoult's law for solutions of solids and liquids can be alternately stated as, this is the second alternate state definition of Raoult's law: relative lowering in vapor pressure of an ideal solution containing the non-volatile solute is equal to the mole fraction of the solute at a given temperature. Now, depending upon the solute and solution, we find that we can divide the binary liquid-liquid solutions into two types: ideal solutions and non-ideal solutions. A solution which obeys Raoult's law exactly over the entire range of concentration is called an ideal solution. The solution which do not obey Raoult's law over the entire range of concentration are called non-ideal solutions. In ideal solutions, if two components are mixed, A and B, the intermolecular interactions are of the same magnitude as the intermolecular attractions in pure components AA and BB. And according to Raoult's law, PA is equal to P naught A XA and PB is equal to P naught B XB, and total pressure is equal to sum of the components PA plus PB is equal to P naught A XA plus P naught B XB. But in non-ideal solution, the intermolecular interactions between the components are different. The AB interactions are different from AA or BB interactions, and here the partial pressure of A is not equal to P naught A into XA. Similarly, partial pressure of B is not equal to P naught B into XB, and the total vapor pressure of solution is also not equal to the sum of P naught A XA and P naught B XB. So, characteristics, difference in characteristics between the two solutions. Characteristics of ideal solution: heat change in mixing is 0. Because there is no change in magnitude of attractive forces in the two components present, the heat change on mixing will be 0. But in case of non-ideal solution, the heat change on mixing is not equal to 0 as the interactions differ. So some energy is either evolved or absorbed during mixing. Volume change on mixing in ideal solution is 0. Volume change is not equal to 0. The total volume of solution is VA plus VB. Total volume of solution is not equal to VA plus VB. It's either greater or less than VA plus VB. It must obey Raoult's law at all range of concentrations. Non-ideal solution, none of the components obeys Raoult's law over the entire composition range. Now, examples of ideal and non-ideal solutions. A mixture of benzene and toluene behaves like an ideal solution. Normal hexane and normal heptane. You can see that the components are basically of the same type, that is almost having the same type of interactions: bromoethane and iodoethane, chlorobenzene and bromobenzene. Whereas the non-ideal solutions consists of components which are having different interactions: ethyl alcohol and cyclohexane, acetone and carbon disulfate, sulfide acetone and chloroform, and water and nitric acids. This is the graph showing the behavior of an ideal solution with respect to change in mole fraction. A non-ideal solution, as the total pressure is not equal to sum of these, and the partial pressure is also PA is not equal to P naught A XA, it is different from P naught A XA. So the graph, instead of straight line, instead of linear change, in case of non-ideal solution, the change is either above this line or below this line. So you can see for a non-ideal solution, the vapor pressure, individual vapor pressures of components are also different from linear behavior, and the total vapor pressure of solution is also different. Now, depending upon whether this deviation is on the higher side, it's greater than what is expected from ideal solution, or it is less than what is expected from ideal behavior, the solutions can be divided into two types. So non-ideal solutions are of two types: solutions having positive deviation from ideal behavior and solutions having negative deviation from ideal behavior. Difference between solutions having positive deviation and negative deviation: number one, interactions between the components are less than in the pure components. Here the interactions are more than in the pure components. The vapor pressure is greater than the product of P0 A and XA. Vapor pressure is less than the product of vapor pressure of pure component and mole fraction of that component. Enthalpy change on mixing is positive, enthalpy change on mixing is negative for solutions showing negative deviation. Heating increases the solubility, heating decreases the solubility. Enthalpy change on mixing is positive for solutions having positive deviation. Enthalpy change is negative for solutions showing negative deviation.